What's up, guys? I'm BTC. There's a brand new patch on the PTR, and with it is a ton of stuff. A brand new map, Hanzo Rework, and lots of nerfs. So much stuff to get to. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe because I always have the latest and greatest in all the Overwatch news and content. So subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any of it. First up is a brand new escort map, Rialto. So if you've played any of the Retribution event, which I'm sure most of you probably have, this is the same map they use for that. However, it is a daytime version of it, and of course it is a payload version. It's actually going the opposite way. So with the Retribution event, you start in one end and you make your all the way to the end where like the docks are, but in this payload version, it's the exact opposite. Now, I am going to do a more thorough kind of walkthrough of the entire map, so that will be coming out very soon before the end of the day. So again, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, next thing are the nerfs and the buffs. There's been a lot of them. So for Genji, the deflect hitbox size has been reduced. Developer comments, the hitbox on Genji's deflect was big enough that it would sometimes reflect projectiles that were pretty far away from him. Yeah, no kidding. We've tightened up the hitbox, which should solve the problem while still fully protecting him from projectiles that would hit him from the front. So no longer will it extend out 10 meters to the left, to the right, and above him. Actually, it's now pretty close to Genji's normal hitbox, and basically anything that would hit Genji would now get deflected. If it's not going to hit him, then it's not really going to get deflected anymore. I mean, there's a little bit of a leeway to it, but for the most part, the hitbox for the deflect now is appropriate to Genji. Next up is Hanzo. Obviously some huge changes. He got a rework. I'm only going to briefly go over this because I already made a full video going over all of the changes, fully breaking down all of the new abilities and the rework. So let's go to the developer comments. It says, the goal of the Hanzo changes is to allow him to have new options and maintain his high damage output, while removing the frustration of fighting against the old scatter arrow. Hanzo is now much more mobile with his new lunge ability, and with the combination of the bow projectile speed increase and the new storm arrows ability, he can now deal his high damage more consistently than ever before. I know some people don't like this character, but don't worry, this is actually raising the skill ceiling of the character by a decent amount. So this is going to make him significantly more viable. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Hanzo just has like a breakthrough into the meta once this actually goes to the live version of the game, because these changes allow him not only to just continue dealing the damage, but he now has a lot more survivability because of that lunge. He can now escape a little bit better than he could before. So anyways, like I said, link for the full breakdown is down below. Next up is Junkrat. He got a couple of nerfs. First, his primary attack, the projectile size was decreased from 0.3 to 0.2, and then the Riptire movement speed was decreased from 13 to 12. Developer comments, these changes are aimed at lowering some of the most frustrating parts about playing against Junkrat. Decreasing the frag launcher's projectile size means he will have to aim a bit more carefully to land powerful direct hits, and slowing the Riptire's movement speed gives his opponent slightly more time to destroy it before it detonates. So I kind of like one of these and I don't like the other. The projectile size decrease I think is good because that means it is now more important for Junkrat to actually aim. Yes, that's not a joke. He actually has to aim in order to do the maximum damage, in order to actually hit his enemies with his attack instead of just having it bouncing off of something. And then the movement speed for the tire I don't agree with because it's still incredibly easy to destroy. It is the only ultimate in the game that can just instantly be destroyed with almost no effort whatsoever. I don't really like that. I think if they're going to lower the speed on it, they should allow it to have a little bit more of that wall climb kind of air movement that it had before. But regardless, Junkrat definitely getting a couple of nerfs here. Next up is Lucio, and he got a ridiculous buff. So wall riding is less likely to be interrupted along a single surface, can now go around corners, both outside corners, inside corners, without having to leave the wall, can now land back on the same wall after leaping away, provided his leap takes him far enough away from the original jumping off point, and then, of course, the sound wave no longer consumes ammo. So developer comments, wall ride has been significantly overhauled to allow it to function more smoothly across more areas of every map. Lucio players should instantly notice a huge improvement in where and how wall ride can be used. In addition, Sonic Amplifier's Soundwave ability was unnecessarily controlled by both a cooldown and an ammo cost, so we're removing the ammo cost. So, real fast, the Soundwave change is cool. It just means that Lucio now has that ability more often than he would before. So you don't have to worry about the ammo, you don't have to worry about reloading. If you need to use the boop, you can do it and just use it. Now, the wall ride, if you've been watching this footage right here, I am not pressing any buttons, okay? I want to be clear on that. This is absolutely ridiculous. It is so unbelievably easy to wall ride now. You can go around the entire map without pressing anything. Like, I'm not pressing any buttons right here. This is just ridiculous. It is so incredibly powerful now that, like, anyone of any rank is going to be able to wall ride really well all the time. And the last one is Tracer. She's getting a pretty significant nerf, but make no mistake, this character is still going to be incredibly powerful. So the ultimate max damage was decreased from 400 to 300, and the developer comments, Pulse Bomb was too good at killing tanks, who can be easy to stick due to their size. This damage reduction makes it less powerful as a tank destroyer, while keeping it lethal against most other heroes. So, the biggest victims of the Tracer Pulse Bomb at 400 was going to be Orisa and also Zarya, because they both have 400 health. I mean, they have some shields and armor and stuff and whatever, but basically this was a one-hit kill on either of those tank characters. So, you know, this was just really, really powerful, and even if a Reinhardt or a Roadhog had a little bit of damage to them, you could still stick them, and if, like, the Roadhog didn't have his breather off cooldown, then they were both basically toast. So this is going to allow that Tracer to still get the sticks on the supports, the Anas, the Mercies, whoever it happens to be, but it's going to be significantly less effective on the tanks. In fact, Tracer might not even want to use her ult on tanks anymore after this change. She might specifically only go after those characters that have 250 health or less. So there you have it, guys, and again, the full Hanzo Rework breakdown video is already up. I'll put a link to that down below, and the full Rialto walkthrough will be coming up very soon, so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss it. What do you guys think about all these changes, the buffs, the nerfs? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links for that stuff are down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.